Guys, where do I even start? This is a review where I don't even know where to start because I'm just absolutely in love with everything that I saw. So let's just start with that. Also, guys, I filmed my reaction for this movie, so it's gonna be posted on November 3rd when this movie is released for everyone else to watch on Netflix. So you guys are gonna have to wait for that. I'm not allowed to release any of that stuff until it is released for everyone else to see on Netflix. So I hope you guys enjoy my review for now, and then you guys can see my initial reaction and thoughts about the movie when my reaction drops. Yo, what's going on, guys? Back behind here, aka the Clockmaster, here to talk about The Harder They Fall by Jeymes Samuel. So this is the first movie I've seen from Mr. Samuel. We have a crazy, huge, stellar cast. We got Jonathan Majors, we got Idris Elba, we got Zazie, beetz, we got Regina King, Delroy, Lindo, lakeith, Stanfield, RJ Kyler. We got everybody in this movie, man. The movie actually was original screenplay from Jeymes Samuel, story by Jeymes Samuel, directed by Jeymes Samuel, and co-composed alongside with Jay-Z by Jeymes Samuel. So this man did like pretty much a lot of the stuff in this movie. And we can go in and talk about some of the things about why I really love this movie. I can just say that right now, I really love this movie. So I'm not gonna worry too much for giving you a whole synopsis of the movie. I feel like you guys should just watch the trailers and actually come back and watch my review for this, just because I feel like the trailers will do a pretty good job at describing what you're gonna see in this movie. But all I can say is this is a black movie, okay? This is a black Western movie, black Western goodness. Like, this is the first actual Western that I've seen with an all black cast in a very prominent role. They're not like just, you know, servants or stuff. Because if you look at a Western, I'm a huge Western fan, you're a huge Western person, you know that most of the time you see black people or any other person of color in a Western film, even if you're lucky to see them, they're either displayed as a really overly stereotypical horrible treats, or, you know, they're either servants, or they're, you know, they're people who will barely have anything, they can't run their own stuff, they have no businesses, yada yada yada. When on the contrary, after slavery ended in the United States, a lot of black people were cowboys. There were a lot of outlaws, there were a lot of people, there were a lot of black towns that were created by people who were, you know, voyaging out west, leaving the South and moving up to the western sides of the country and doing plenty of different things. Even Native Americans as well. There's plenty of stories. Obviously we hear and see a lot of Native Americans in Westerns, but they're normally portrayed as the villains in the story, which is ridiculous. But even to some of the black people that you would see in most modern Westerns or most popular Westerns are depicted as villains. And even the outlaws themselves are depicted as the heroes, like, you know, the Clint Eastwood's. I'm not to knock too much of it, because again, I love Westerns and I grew up watching Westerns, and classic Westerns inspired this film and it inspired everyone that worked on this film, from the director to the costume designer, to the set designer, to the cinematographer. Western, even the actors themselves were all inspired by Western films. So this is not a knock too much to Western films, it's just that at the time Hollywood wasn't really ready to embrace the truth about, you know, the situation, and being able to show, yes, there were black cowboys too, and that there were women, black women, that were just as scrappy and they were doing their thing. And that's some of the things that I loved about this movie. This movie is a perfect blend, in my opinion, of love, revenge, jealousy, and everything in between. We have a very deep rooted story, and all the characters have a lot of heart. We're seeing a lot of details. Every single one of them have a nice, pretty good backstory, and they're all likable. There's so much chemistry on screen between everyone. And I mean, come on, guys, this is a stellar cast. Do I need to say their names again? These are amazing people who have done really amazing films and TV shows and projects, man. But like, honestly though, Zazie Beetz and Jonathan Majors, I would say even Regina King, I can't really say there's any specific performance that really stood out to me, just because they all stood out to me and they were all great. But the chemistry on screen between Zazie Beetz and Jonathan Majors was just completely believable. It was there. The friendships that you see, the hatred that you see in some of their eyes, and there's only so much I can say without really spoiling the movie, but you can really see a lot of those technical details really being brought out. And I feel like having a strong cast for a story like this was really key for this movie. Another thing I can really say that really stood out in this film was the music. The music is a key, huge part of what makes this movie great, in my opinion. The music itself is a story. Every song relates to something that's important to the narrative, something that carries a story along. It's not just random Western types of music you're finding in this. You're finding, when I say, guys, this is a black movie. When I say that, we're talking everything from the directing style to the production to the set design to the costume design, even to the music, to its core, everything from Africa to the Caribbean. I'm from the Caribbean, so there's a lot of stuff that's in this film, and even if you watch some of the trailers and stuff like that, you will see some of those references being made. Don't want to say too much, but you know, as being a black person from the Caribbean too, like just seeing certain stuff, I was like, man, like when you see the movie, you know what I'm talking about. I was like, damn, like this is really dope, and I'm really enjoying this, and I'm loving that a lot of that, you know, black stories in terms of music was really being told from all over the world, man. Like just different popular things that just really make us who we are, and I just love that stuff was brought into this. The characters in this story are based off of real lives, and the story is original, so just keep that in mind. The story is an original story, but I feel like it takes all these great people that existed throughout history and all these different types of amazing stories that you never really hear about until you research them, and that never get any limelight or even get shown anywhere, are brought into the fold and brought into the forefront, and have an amazing story being created for this. It's just absolutely, it's just amazing. This movie was made by a Western fan, a fan of Westerns, for people like us, and for us to get to see a movie like this was just a great cast. I mean, honestly, I'm just so happy I was able to see it and be able to witness something like this, because I feel like this is really going to change the genre a lot, and it's really going to change people's perception of this era and of this time period and of these types of movies, especially if you're into Westerns. I mean, like, I feel like a lot of people I know don't watch Westerns because they're overly white and there's like white cowboys and they think it's boring and yada yada yada, and I get that. But now I'm seeing a lot of chatter of people online who are like, okay, I'm super excited to check this movie out now. I'm super excited to see what this movie is about, because we actually have a black cast who's in the lead, and they're doing their thing, they're owning themselves, they have control of their destiny in a way. And you know, even though, you know, these are cowboys, these are outlaws, you know, we're seeing that being represented on screen, those stories from historical events, as I mentioned previously, being represented on screen, man. I feel like that's one of the most important things about a movie like this, is that we get to see a lot of those stuff come on the screen. So I say it's perfection, guys, and I know I don't give things a 10 out of 10. I normally don't, but just, you know, even though I say it's a 10 out of 10, nothing can ever really be truly 100% perfect. I'm gonna say it's 10 out of 10, but to be realistic, I'd give the movie a 9.5 out of 10. Just because, you know, I've had some people comment like, oh man, well, you giving a movie a 10 out of 10, what would it take, what would it do this? I'm like, look, man, look, in my heart, this movie's a 10 out of 10. Okay, just from pure enjoyment, and you know, just really, you know, engaging and just really just strictly just enjoying the movie. So there you have it, guys. That's my basic quick review for The Harder They Fall. It drops on Netflix November 3rd. Like I said, I can't really talk too much about this movie without getting into spoilers. There's just so many great things about this movie, but as you can see, I'm smiling during this entire review just because I really enjoyed this one, honestly. Like I was excited for it before, and I was like, okay, let's see what's going to happen, let's see how it's going to go. And then actually watching it, everyone seriously killed it. Everyone really put their all into these characters, man. It was a great story, and I can't wait for more of you guys to watch it, honestly. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed my review. I'm going to be dropping a reaction to this, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video. I'm going to be dropping a reaction to this on November 3rd. I filmed my reaction to this just so you guys can see my initial reaction to that. So my reaction is going to be posted on the day that this is released on Netflix for everyone else to watch. So anyways, thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. Clockmaster out.